Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Very warm welcome to all of you this Monday morning. I hope you guys are excited for a brand new week. Hope you had a smashing week last week. And I'm very, very, very happy to have all of you on the call this Monday morning. Now, if you can, as usual, if you can hear me okay, if you can see the screen, just type in something in the chat box on the right-hand side, say hello. If you have any questions, feel free to post those questions in the chat box as well, and I'll try and answer those as well. But today's topic is a recipe for successful business and 13 ingredients for a stable and consistent and growing business. So what are these 13 steps? Let's go right into it. So the first step is timetable, or the first ingredient is timetable. So one of the best kept secrets of the rich is time management or focus. Is basically using your time very, very wisely, because if you think about it, the super rich and the super poor have the same 24 hours in the day. The difference really lies in what do they do with that time. Morning, Louise. The reason why timetable is so important, because it's discipline. It's disciplining yourself to manage your time. Morning, Anne. So what you do with timetable is you allocate your time. So you need to think, okay, I have so many hours in a day that I'm allocating to my business. So from those hours that I'm allocating to my business, how many of those hours will go to recruiting, which is first of all finding people, then piquing interest. Maybe it's like face to face or on Facebook or whatever, right? And then sending them the information, and then following up with them and saying, yeah, did you had a look at the information? What did you think of it? Etc. 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 The second thing that you might want to spend some time is on presentations. So live presentations that you do within your local area, whether to small groups or face to face to one-on-one, etc. The other time that you need to allocate is trainings. So the brand new people you're bringing on board and the people that have been in the business for a while, you need to spend some time training them. Like this morning, I'm with you guys, I'm training you. So because I need to train my team in order to give them the best chance to succeed in the business, right? You also want to spend some time on recognition. Recognizing people. Morning, Stephen. Recognizing people about what they achieved already. Whether they hit this level or that level, whether they got this prize or the other prize, etc. You want to be recognizing people, because people are working. They're investing their time and effort into building the business, and they're part of your team. Give them the recognition that they deserve. Okay, and many other things. So you want to have a timetable. If you haven't got a diary, then you're just not serious. You have to have a diary. Even if in your job you don't need a diary, buy a diary for your business. Already got my 2016 diary, and I'm starting to plan my 2016. So you need to plan things, and with the diary, at least you're in control. You got up in the morning, you open your diary, and you see, okay, I got this, and this. Okay, so this way you're planning your time. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So timetable is extremely important. Number two is systems and structures. This is as well a very, very important ingredient in your business, because what you need to understand that people come and go, but systems and structures stay. So you cannot build your business on one person or the other, on a superstar. Now, I know you will get some superstars in your business who will do like a large percentage of your business within your team, etc. And that's good. It's nice to have people like that. However, you cannot depend on a person like that, because if that person goes away tomorrow, your whole business collapses. So you need to make sure that your business is based on systems and structures and not on people. So what I mean by that, if you have a system that consistently churns out new leaders and new team builders and new people who are doing points, and it basically creates the duplication where your team members can use the same system to recruit people and train them. Their team members can use the same system to recruit people and train them. Now you have a duplicatable system that is churning out new leaders and new people within the business. But if you just have few superstars and nobody else can do what they do, then it's a challenge, because your business is not based around systems and structures. So make sure you have systems and structures around how to present the business to somebody. There has to be a system where anybody can take a video or a brochure or an audio file or a resource to show to somebody to explain about the business. It shouldn't be from the top of their head, right? Systems and structures around training people. So is there a structure within your team to train new people that came on board, to give them the best chance to succeed? Or is it just sort of, throw them against the wall and see which one sticks system? You need to make sure that there are systems and structures in your business. Okay. Ingredient number 3 is big hitters. So you will have big hitters in your business. You will have people who go out and do extraordinarily well in terms of selling. They sell a lot of product. Or you'll have big hitters who go out and do extraordinarily well in terms of recruiting or training, etc. So you will have people, you'll have superstars in your business, and it's important to identify those people, okay? Because those people, again, can be very, very good role models for other people. So if you have big hitters, number 1, you need to identify them. Who are the big hitters in my team? Then promote them, show them off, showcase them to your team members. Some of you have heard of me promoting one of my guys, Thomas. In his first month, was it in September, September, he sold personally about 90 bottles, right? So this way I promoted him. I said to the team, look, this guy first month, went out, did 90 bottles by himself, did over 3,000 group points, hit 9% in his first month. Amazing, right? He's a big hitter. The guy is serious, he's not wasting time. So I wanted to promote him, to show others him as a role model, as an example, right? So, and also this applies to 80-20 rule. So you spend 80% of your time with people who are actually doing the business, and 20% of the people with the rest of the people, right? So you work with people who are serious on one-on-one, and you work in groups with people who are not that serious, right? So this is the type of time management as well, right? And you always drill for skill. Right? So when you have a big hitter, sometimes it's just the sheer enthusiasm that they just came in and they're really cranking it up, etc., but they haven't got much skills yet. So want to make sure that you work on the skills to educate and to give as much skills as possible to this big hitter, so that they become consistent big hitter. Okay? All right. Ingredient number 4 is administration. Now, again, this can be a very, very big distraction, but really, really important part of your business. You need to make sure that you know what is happening in your business, and you need to be organized with things like from registration forms to ordering stuff, to following up with people, to managing orders and things like that. It's just, you need to have the admin system in your business where you know what is happening in your business, right? So you need to treat this as a business, not as a hobby. If you really, really, really want to succeed and grow your business and have a nice income. And actually that leads us to ingredient number 5, which is cash flow. Right? So you need to make sure that you follow your cash flow in business. You know how much money you're actually making, how much money you're actually spending on sales aids and resources and things like that, where the money is coming in, where it's going. So you really, really know where you actually are. Too many people treat this type of business as a hobby. They don't really treat it seriously. They don't really, calculate how much money did I make last month? How much money did I make last year? And how much, profit did I make on it, right? Because after taking away all the trainings and resources and travels and things like that, how is my business performing? What is the profit and loss statement, of my business? So keep an eye on the money. And if money is a very good indicator how your business is doing. It's not the only indicator of success, but it's one of them. If you're not making any money, something has to change, right? Something is not working, right? Because the purpose of the business is to make money. Yes, it's nice to be part of a family and to be social and to do this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, we all here to make money. So if you're not making money, something is not right, right? You need to ask for help. And one of the things I always say to people, don't drown quietly. If you were drowning in water, you wouldn't just go quietly, would you? Would you go, oh, I don't want to disturb anybody, let me just drown quietly? No, you would scream for your life, right? But I see so many people drowning quietly in business, right? They are not succeeding, they're not getting results, they're not getting ahead, but they're not asking for help either. They sort of drowning quietly. They go, I don't want to disturb anybody. I'm not going to call my sponsor or my leader. They're too busy anyway, right? Let me just drown quietly. Don't do that, right? If something is not working, ask for help, and the best thing to do is ask people who are getting the results that you want to be getting, right? Don't ask your brother-in-law who's failure too, right? Ask the person who are getting result how to do it, or tell them your situation and ask them for advice. Okay, the ingredient number 6 is recruitment. And recruitment is extremely important part of our business because we want to be bringing new people on board and expanding our business constantly, right? Not just at the beginning, all the time. So it doesn't matter whether you've been in this business for 6 months or 6 years or 16 years. You want to be bringing brand new people into the business all the time, right? So it should be, recruiting is really, really important. So you should be allocating a large part of your time for prospecting and piquing interest and following up on people and getting people into the business. Really, 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 really important. So think about it. Do you have anybody joining your business this week, right? Are you recruiting people this week for the next week, right? You need to be asking yourself these questions. What are my numbers, right? Really, really important. So and you always have to have some structures in place where you go, okay, so how much time am I spending on social media to find new people? How much time am I spending face to face, on school runs or on shopping trips or whatever, looking for people, prospecting? Am I going to business breakfast meetings? Am I going to networking groups? Am I going to whatever? How much time are you investing in bringing new people on board? And I'm talking personal, not your team recruits, etc. That's all very well, but personally, how many new people are you bringing on board every single week, every single day, etc.? Some of the top leaders that I know in this business are recruiting brand new people daily. Right? I mean, I know one lady, she just turned Amaranth Orchid last month, and she said, she said, I bring a brand new person every single day on board, right? Brand new person into the business, or maybe more than one, right? But this is the reason why she's so successful, right? So it's really, really important to focus on recruitment. Okay, number 7 is social proof. Now, this is more important than ever, because people nowadays, they don't believe advertisements anymore. So including in those advertisements is your presentation. Your presentation is a bit like an advertisement, right? And people are skeptical nowadays. They don't believe it as much as they used to, ages ago. So what you want to make sure that you have some social proof in your business. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new. You can use the stories of other people in the business who already succeeded, etc. But you have to have social proof. And then once you start getting results in your team, again, like I said, you want to showcase those people who are succeeding. You want to showcase the people who are getting results, because that creates the social proof. People saying, well, if that person is succeeding, that person is succeeding, that person is succeeding, then it's not the business that is the problem, it's me, right? Because if everybody else is making money and I'm not, then it's not the business problem, is it? It's my problem. Something I'm doing is not right, right? So, and social proof creates this big fire. When you're first starting the fire, it's quite difficult, etc., and it's very difficult to get the first sparks on, etc. But once you get it burning, once you have the fire massive, you can throw anything on that fire and it'll catch flame, right? So same way with your business. When you first get it going, it's a bit slow, it's a bit cranky, it's a bit clumsy, etc. But once you get it going, once you get it into momentum, you can throw anybody into that team and they will become successful because they see all the success around them and they have so many examples to learn from. It's almost impossible for them not to succeed in your team. Okay, so really, really, really important to show off things like achievement levels, new qualifications, prizes, even checks if if the person doesn't mind sharing them, etc., to show people that it's a real business with real money, with real people earning, not just being part of a social club, but actually earning a living from this. Okay, ingredient number 8 is lead from the front. Okay, now leading from the front is extremely important. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. This business is not, do as I say, not what I do. People will copy exactly what you do, or probably less than what you do. So if you don't do anything, guess what? Your team members ain't gonna do anything. So when you lead from the front, number one, what it shows is authority. It shows that you are actually serious about the business, you're serious about what you're teaching, and you're not just expecting other people to do it for you. You can actually do it. Number two, nobody can question you if you're leading from the front. One of the things I remember when we first started, for the first 2 years, we used to do 1,200 personal points every single month, just to show people that it is doable. Nobody could come from a team and go, oh, it's impossible to do that. We'll go, well, we've been doing it for 2 years in a row. It must be possible, right? So this way, it's leading from the front. It's showing people that you can do anything, right? And that you are doing what needs to be doing. And if you're doing it, guess what? You can teach them. Because if you can't teach your team members, then probably you don't know how to do it. Because if you knew how to do it, you can show it to your team members too. So it's really, really important. So this goes to sales, to recruiting, to training, to everything, right? If you want your team members to do something, you need to start doing it. Simple as that. If you want your team members to sell the products, you start selling the products and start sharing with your team members. If you want your team members to recruit people, you start recruiting people, and you'll see what happens in your team. Your team members will start recruiting people, right? If you want your team members to start doing presentations and trainings, you start doing presentations and trainings and show them how to do it, right? It's really, really important to lead from the front. Number 9, the ingredient number 9 is your why. So your why is the reason why you're in this business. And our business is a people's business, right? So really, really important to understand your why, first of all. Why is it that you're doing this business? What's the reason for you to succeed? Because if your why is not strong enough, guess what? You're probably going to quit, because you're not going to take the beating that's going to come, right? And in every business, in every work, you'll have good days and you'll have bad days. So when you're having the bad days, your why is going to pull you through. If you have the goal or the reason that, like Jeff Roberta says, it makes you cry, then it's going to pull you through. But if your why is not strong enough, if your reason to succeed is not big enough, then you're always going to go, well, I have, this thing, anyway, as a backup, etc. And you won't be focused, you won't be serious. Number 2 is you want to make sure to take time to understand your people's why, your team members' why. So different people in your team will be doing this business for different reasons. So you want to take some time and understand their reasons to succeed in this business, their reasons for doing this business. Why is it that they're here, right? It's really, really important to understand that, and your why, your reason, you want to share it. You want to share your vision. You want to share your confidence with your team, because that is infectious. People will get it from you. They'll go, you know what? I want that too. I want to be part of that mission. I want to be part of that vision as well, right? So it's not just for the money. It can't just be for the money, because money is too shallow. Money is not, it doesn't motivate people. What will you do with that money? What will that achieve? What will that give to you? What will that give to your family, to your team, to your community? Okay? So it has to be more, right? It has to be more, something more than just the money. Okay. Ingredient number 10 is vision. So create a vision. It has to excite others, right? And you almost want to say to your team members, I want you to be part of this vision. You need, people need leaders. People need somebody to look up to. People need somebody to follow. So you need to be that person as a leader. You need to lead them somewhere, right? So you need to show them the vision. This is what's going to happen. This is how many people we're going to have in our team. This is the levels we're going to do. This is how many people I'm looking to reach this level within the next couple of months. This is how many people I want to, trained to this position or whatever, right? And then you work with people who want to do it, right? Because they say if you can't see the future, you are not prepared to pay the price. If you can see it, then you will go through the pain, right? So they say if you cannot imagine it, then it cannot happen. If it doesn't happen in your head, it cannot happen in reality. So you have to start working this mental muscle. I know that a lot of people been beaten up so many times in life, they stop dreaming. When they're kids, they wanted to be astronauts, they want to live in a castle, they wanted to drive a Ferrari, etc. But as they get older, these dreams are getting beaten out of them, and they stop dreaming. They stop, looking and dreaming big. They start going, yeah, it's okay, I will get by, I'll survive, etc. But you don't want to be a mediocre, especially in business. If you're leading the team, you want to show big vision so that people can get on board and follow you to that big vision. Number 11 is self-development. So again, ask yourself a question: am I growing? Because if you green, then you grow. If you're ripe, then you rot. So you want to make sure that you're constantly growing, right? So it says if your output exceeds your input, then your upkeep will become your downfall. What I mean by that is that this type of business is a very it's an emotional business. It's a business where you constantly give. You give a little bit of yourself, you give a little bit of your passion, you give a little bit of your energy when you're showing people the business, when you're showing people the products, when you're training people, etc. So if you don't recharge that, if you don't keep putting in, then you won't be able to give out as much. So you want to make sure that you're always investing in yourself. You're always investing in yourself, so you have more to give, so you have more to share, you have more to show to other people, right? So upgrade. People upgrading phones and televisions and their cars all the time. When have you upgraded you the last time, right? What sort of version of you are we seeing? Are you, the 2.0 or 3.0, or are you still running on a beta version, right? You need to catch up with the rest of the world. You need to upgrade yourself, right? So feed your mind all the time, every single day. Feed your mind something positive, something educational, something inspirational. Instead of watching the news or reading newspapers which are full of negativity, put something positive in your mind. Learn something useful, right? For me, I have a habit: whenever I read a book or I attend a training, or I watch the live training or watch the one on a computer or whatever, I take notes, and then I use those notes to produce a training for my team, to teach something other people, etc. So get in a habit of doing that, taking notes and learning and investing in yourself. Okay, ingredient number 12 is self-discipline and affirmation. Okay, so be careful of your feelings in this business. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in this business, you don't do how you feel, you do what you have to do. Okay, so some days you won't be willing to do anything. Some days you're gonna go, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to train anybody, I don't want to show the business to anybody, etc. And for some of you, it might be not days, it might be weeks and months and years for some of you, right? So you want to make sure that you don't do how you feel, you do what you're supposed to do. Okay, because I always say to people, don't treat this business as a business, treat it as a job. And people go, oh, what do you mean? I got out of my job to do the business, so I don't want to treat this as a job. I want to treat this as a... But what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that when people go to work, they haven't missed a day of work for 7 years. When they start working for themselves, when they run their own business, they get little sniffles and they don't do anything for 3 weeks. And I go, what do you mean by that? You never missed a day of work, but then something happens and you don't do anything in business, because people are not disciplining themselves enough. In a job, they have somebody that kicks their butt if they're not doing the work or if they don't turn up to work, etc. Whereas in the business, it's too much hiding place. You can hide behind stuff, and not look busy, but actually not do anything. So you need to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do and not what you feel like doing. Most of us, we would love to watch trainings and read books, etc. But at the end of the day, that's not going to make you money. Or not directly, right? So you want to make sure you balance. You spend some time to invest in yourself and educate yourself and attend trainings, etc. But you want to make sure that you're also spending time on income producing activity, income producing activity. And the only activity that is income producing is either selling the product or bringing new people on board, recruiting people. That's the only two activities that produce income. Okay, so you want to make sure that the considerable part of your time allocated to this business is actually invested into doing those type of activities. Okay, and speak as if it happened already. So when you're talking about your business, speak as if it happened already. You're already a diamond. You already have the team of whatever. You already have everything that you need to have. It's just waiting to happen, right? So in your head, it's done, it's finished, it's already done. And one of the top leaders in our business, I love the way she builds this business, because in her head she never goes, oh, let's do this month, or let me try and achieve this level this month. She always goes, okay, this month I'm doing this. And then she has to figure out a way how to do that. But in her head, it's done on the first day of the month. She doesn't wait for the end of the month to figure out whether she's going to do something or not, a particular qualification. She goes, it's done. This is what it is. Now we need to figure out a way how to do that. So I really, really admire that. It's very, very important trait to have. Okay. So learn to be focused and on the vision. Okay. And the last ingredient, number 13, is know your numbers. Know your numbers, guys. They say if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. So spend some time to really understand your business. Now, what I mean by that, I'm not talking about the marketing plan and calculating your commissions, and all the coefficients, etc. That is irrelevant. The computer does it for you. What you need to know is your numbers in terms of, number one, what's your personal numbers? How many products am I selling every single week? How many new people am I approaching every single week? How many people I'm showing the business opportunity presentation? How many people I'm following up? How many people actually starting in my team every single week personally, first of all? Secondly, what is happening in my team? So out of the 700 or 7,000 or 70,000 people, how many of them are actually active? Do you actually know how many people in your team are actually active? How many of them are team builders, and how many of them are sellers, and how many of them are preferred customers? How many new people are starting within the team every single week or every single day or every single month? Know your numbers. How many people started last month? How many people started last week, etc. Are you in touch with those people? Is there some sort of a system that you stay in touch with these people? Know your numbers. Same way the money, how much money have I made? How much money have I spent? How much money do I want to make, etc. Most people don't have these numbers concrete, and it's really, really important to have them concrete. If you went to Tesco's tomorrow and asked them how many cans of baked beans they sold last week, they could tell you exactly. Why? Because they know the numbers. This is why the company is making billions, right? So really, really important for you to be in control of your business too. Know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. You're just kidding yourself. So really, really, really important for you to understand the business, to know your numbers, and to know what is happening within your business. Only then you can be in control. They say stress is just when people feel out of control. So if you feel in control, if you know exactly what's happening when you're doing business, then you're not stressed, because you know exactly where you want to go, where you want to take it, etc. Awesome, guys. So I hope you found this useful. Make sure to like it, share it, with your team. Spread the message. Comment, below the video when it's saved on YouTube and things like that. Make sure you check out our blog, which is Titanium Success /blog. There's a lot of other trainings over there like this one that will give you value and tips on and educate you. And you can subscribe there to our mailing list, so you get the free ebook, which is how to build a part-time business while keeping your full-time job. And then you'll get updates of the new blogs and new trainings when they come out. So yeah, just visit Titanium Success /blog. Okay, guys, have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic month. And as always, we'll see you at the top.